everybody, and welcome back to the Toon Review YouTube channel for what is the match reaction with me, Paul, as Newcastle United defeat Arsenal 1-0 at St James's Park in the early Premier League kickoff. And what a performance that was. We asked for intensity to come back, and we asked for the quick-flowing football to come back, and boy, did we do that today. Now, look, I know there was a lot of questions asked about the team lineup when it came out this morning. People were wondering, Dan Burn back in, Longstaff playing, etc. But they brilliant performance. Sean Longstaff, superb today. And I don't say that very often, but like I've said many, many times on this channel, we will praise people if they play well. And Sean played brilliant today. His breaking up of the Arsenal play through the middle was there for all to see. It was an excellent, excellent performance. Joe Willock, I mean, that is the Joe Willock we've been wanting back for a very long time. He hasn't looked himself since he's came back from injury, but today he ran his socks off. He was superb. Absolutely brilliant. And young Lewis Hall, somebody tell me a better English left back in the country right now, because there simply isn't one. There simply isn't one. And Lewis Hall has got to be knocking on the door now for an England squad place. No doubt in my eyes. It would be an absolute disgrace if he is not named in the next international squad, because he was superb today. There isn't a better English left back playing right now in the Premier League. I'm telling you, there isn't. And I think a lot of Newcastle fans would agree with me on that one. Look, we went at them from the off. We started the game very, very well, but the goal was sensational. We've been crying out for crosses to come into the box, and Anthony Gordon pings that one in first time, right between Saliba and Gabriel. But the header from Isak, who's come under a lot of criticism for not heading the ball, my God, did he get a connection on that? Straight in the top corner. No chance for Rhea, and we're 1-0 up. And the good thing is for me is we didn't sit back and just say, right, we've got a goal, we'll sit back and park the bus the rest of the game. We did try and attack Arsenal more. Yes, they came into it again second half, certainly the last part of it. We started to get very, very tired. And everybody's screaming, Eddie, you need to make a change. Eddie, you need to change something because we're looking dead on our feet. But the lads didn't stop. They defended really well. Nick Pope didn't have a big save to make. Look, I'm not going to discuss Nick Pope's kicking because I think we all know that Nick Pope's distribution with his feet, it's never going to improve. It's never, ever going to get any better. But he came and commanded his box today. A few very good punches under a lot of pressure. We know what Arsenal set pieces are like. They put teams and goalkeepers especially under a lot of pressure. But I thought we coped with it wonderfully well. He punched when he needed to, and he caught the ball when he needed to. But as for that, there wasn't really any major shot stopping that he had to do. Marino had a good chance from a corner in the first half, but again, Lewis Hall throwing his body in the way of it. And that is just what we want to see from every single Newcastle United player out there. Putting yourselves on the line. Fabian Schär was a bit dodgy first half with his passing. Not his defending, but his passing. But then he improved in the game where he was putting some brilliant passes in second half. Everybody stood on their head today for that football club. And rightly so. We've needed this. This is a hell of a good week for us. Losing to Chelsea, a tad unlucky to lose to Chelsea. And then we beat them in the Carabao. And now we've beaten title-chasing Arsenal. And I'm intrigued to see what Arsenal do as I record this, the manager's comments or the fans' comments, because they've got nothing to complain about today. They simply couldn't get past us and couldn't beat us. Yes, they had a great chance at the end of the game. Wonderful ball in from Saka, curling right to the back post. And Declan Rice, he had to bend down a lot to get the header, but the timing was slightly off and it went wide. But you know what? We created opportunities as well. And I just think that the feel-good factor looked back for us today. And I mentioned earlier on in the week after we beat Chelsea that it's very important that maybe we don't get carried away and think that everything's rosy in the garden anymore. However, what I will say is that display there gives you the idea that maybe the harmony's back in the dressing room. Everybody's playing for each other now. There's there's nobody in that dressing room who's unhappy. Just sensational stuff today. Everybody was working for a man and sticking by the teammates. Joe Linton. I mean, what do you say about this guy? Joe Linton took so much hammer in his early years at Newcastle United, mainly from me as well. But he became my favourite player over time when he was moved into midfield. The guy is just a beast. There's no other doubt. He plays on the edge. There's no doubt about that. He plays a very physical game of football. But that's something that you just don't want to take out of Joe Linton's game. You cannot take out of Joe Linton's game. Because if you take that sort of aggression away from Joe Linton, then he's not quite the same player. But he's a brilliant footballer as well. And I just think the left-hand side looks so much better. I don't know about you guys, but that left-hand side looks so much better with Joe Linton and Willock bombing down it. I think the support that they give each other, and then, of course, the support that Joe Linton gives Lewis Hall on a regular. Look how many times Saka got the ball today, and he was confronted with Joe Linton and Lewis Hall, who, between the two of them, gave him nothing. Gave him absolutely nothing. Arsenal, they tried their dark arts, if you like, by throwing themselves to the floor all the time. How they didn't get more bookings in the game, I will never know. But listen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. The game's done and dusted. We've got the 3 points. But the way they were throwing themselves to the floor was a little bit disappointing for me, because they have some very, very talented footballers in that team. Very talented. And yet the slightest little brush of an opposition player and they are throwing themselves to the floor. I don't like seeing it. I don't like when we do it either. I think it's a bit pathetic. Get up and play the game and stop moaning on. But the way we defended in the second half gave Arsenal nothing. Gave Arsenal absolutely nothing. Some of the football we played today was absolutely brilliant. Little one-touch football. Balls played down through for Gordon, out to the left-hand side as well. Isak running his heart out all over the pitch. And, you've got to give credit where it's due. There wasn't one player on that Newcastle United side today that I thought didn't put in a shift. And we can't say that about every game that we've watched this season. But these last couple of games, whoever's been playing in a black and white shirt has put in a shift. The effort in defence to clear the ball, the confidence of some of the players to play the ball out of defence. Yeah, a couple of times we lost the ball. That's going to happen. That's just football. That's just in general. That will happen. However, the rest of it, absolutely breathtaking stuff. And as for Bruno, Bruno has took a while to get going this season. That there is no doubt about. But what a leader he is. We were criticising the decision to give him the captaincy. But he led by example today. He was everywhere. He was getting stuck in. He was winning the ball. He was making sure that he won free kicks for us when the pressure was a little bit on. And he just kept going. He just kept going, frustrating Arsenal. Then Jorginho at the end of towards the end, gives him a little bit of a high elbow. There's nothing really in it for me, but just lets him know that he's there and he hasn't really forgotten last season. But for me, that's a good thing to see, because it means Arsenal were getting very, very frustrated. They couldn't cope with us. And I love seeing that. When teams get so frustrated, they start, making silly little fouls or getting a bit petulant like Havertz did at the end. Just brilliant. That's because we've done our job and we've made them like that. And yes, Sky, whoever will say that, Arsenal didn't play very well. It'll be the usual crap that Arsenal didn't play very well. Newcastle United won't get the praise that they deserve for today from certain aspects of the media. But we know as fans how good that was and how much we restricted Arsenal. They had a possession, fair enough, a lot of it, but they didn't hurt us in the danger area because we kept compact and we kept very, very disciplined. And I think that's the best thing to say about the performance today, was how disciplined we were. We didn't give Arsenal a second on the ball when it really mattered. The pressing, high press on Rea all the time, causing a few problems for them. It was just really, really good to watch. And it's a long time since we said that, but these last two games have been a great watch. And we know teams like Chelsea and Arsenal, they are going to have a lot of possession because they've got some wonderful players. But so have we. And we had the players today to stick it out. It's another clean sheet. And you know what it is? We fully deserved it. Fully deserved it. Arsenal didn't make Nick Pope make a big save, and that's what you've got to look at the end of the day, because possession means nought if you don't do anything with it. We've scored a fantastic goal. We could have scored a couple more, and, let's be honest, I think them fans coming out of St James's Park today and those watching around the world are going to be absolutely delighted delighted with what we've just seen there. I certainly am. There seems to be a feel-good factor back. There will be if you've won 2 games. But it's now time to build on it and then go to the City Ground. One more game before another international break. Go to the City Ground. Put on another performance like that. Try and get another 3 points. And if we do that, we go into the international break on a high. And that's what they should be aiming for. But hats off to everybody today and the manager, because the manager took a lot of stick before the game about the team lineup, but Eddie Howe got it 100% spot on today. No matter what we thought of the team lineup, he got it spot on. He knew what he was doing, and every man in that black and white shirt responded as well. So delighted, absolutely delighted. And let's hope this is now the continuation for games to come, where we see the true Newcastle United back. We've seen a true Joe Willock back today as well. Some fantastic individual performances, but all in all, a fantastic team performance as well. So there you go. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the game. Don't forget, Sunday night at 7 p.m, we'll have the full review of the game, where we'll also do our player ratings. But thank you very much for watching the video. Please give it a like if you've enjoyed it. And of course, subscribe if you're new. Thank you to the Toon Review sponsors, Mamaroo Records. That description is pinned at the top of the description. Go and take a look at what they can offer. Some fantastic deals that they've got going as well. And if you're ever in Whitley Bay, do pay a visit to them. They're right in the town centre opposite Greg's. So thank you again to Mamaroo Records. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a blast of a weekend, and we'll see you for the review. Take care.